Welcome back to Conversation with Buddy. I'm your host, Buddy Puckett. Thank you so much for being here today. Hey, we have a couple in the house today. They're a great couple. If you want to improve your golf game, you'll definitely want to get to know these guys pretty well. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you Alan and Sarah Reese. Welcome,
Hi.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man. This is great.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't sure who was all showing up today, but here we are. So, Sarah's a Duck fan, by the way, if you didn't notice. So she's all in for the Ducks. Go Ducks.
Go
all
Ducks.
Right. Well, thanks for being here, you guys. This is really cool.
Absolutely.
Alan, you're an introvert. Sarah, you're not.
No, well,
Talk about that.
shy extrovert is what I like to
A
say.
shy... Oh, I've never heard that before.
Competing.
I've never heard of a shy extrovert. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So I love being around people. I love talking to people in big groups, but it takes a while for me to come out of my shell.
Okay. Why is that?
I
Because
don't
extroverts
know.
are usually on the front scene, man. They're like,
Not me. No.
not you.
No.
But you fuel up being around people once
do.
you get warmed up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Once she gets going,
Yeah.
she's on fire.
Totally.
Is he picking on you?
Always.
Always.
It's okay.
How long have you guys been married?
17 years, almost 18.
Almost.
Yeah.
What day's your anniversary?
November 22nd.
Yep.
Interesting.
2008.
Okay.
On the same day my grandparents got married.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I
They're
like it.
Kaiser natives, sort of.
Yeah.
And they lived here in the same house on
Yeah.
Linda Avenue for 60 some years.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're going to dive into a lot of stuff. We're going to hear about how you guys met. That's always interesting to me. So, Alan, you're from North Bend.
Yeah, I'm actually from a smaller town, Lakeside, but North Bend is the one that everyone knows.
Yeah. I know where Lakeside's at. Drive by there.
If
you grew up in Lakeside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you blink, you miss it.
So you went to North Bend High School then?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Very
Home
cool.
of the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Steve Prefontaine's little stepbrother.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Steve's a big deal down there, isn't he?
Yes.
He should be.
I think my mother-in-law went to high school with Steve.
My dad and uncle were at the same time.
Yeah.
My uncle
Yeah.
loves to tell you how he ran track and competed, and my
Yeah.
dad will come around the backside and say he competed laps behind him, like
Yeah.
everybody did.
Yeah. That's funny.
But your dad went to Marshfield, so they went
did
to the
both.
same high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah. I met my wife, and I went to SWAC my first year and met my wife, and we dated for 4 years and got married. But yeah, and then you went to McNary, right?
I went to McNary.
So you're born and raised Salem, Kaiser.
Was not born here, but yes, raised here.
Okay,
I'm from
All right.
Vancouver, Washington.
Okay,
But yeah.
okay. Well, let's start from the very beginning. We're gonna talk about your daughter and your son, some stuff that's going on. We're gonna talk about a golf event that's coming up.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the very beginning, Sarah.
Yes.
Ladies go first. So,
Okay.
talk to us. Where did you grow up? I want to hear about mom and dad, how they influenced you, and
Yeah.
what makes you who you are today.
Okay. Well, I was raised here in Kaiser on Linda Avenue. I grew up across the street from my grandparents and had a pretty good childhood. Yeah. My dad is a golf pro, or was now. He's retired. But I was really influenced by my grandparents growing up across the street from them. It was really nice. And I played golf in high school, and then I decided that even though I wasn't very good, that I wanted to keep playing. And so I found Pacific University in Forest Grove, Oregon, and they would let me play golf there. And so then went there for 4 years, played golf. We were 3 of the 4 years we were the conference champions. And so then after college, I got a degree in psychology, and I worked for the DHS for a little bit, did not like that. And I thought, you know what? What I really enjoyed doing is being outside and playing golf. And my dad took me to Bandon when my senior year.
Yeah.
And so I remember going to Pacific Dunes, which is actually where Alan worked. He was one of the golf pros there.
That's the only course I've golfed is Pacific.
Oh, it's
so
awesome.
It's
Great.
not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. And the starter was like, hey, you could caddy here. You could make some good money. And so that stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I thought about that a lot when I was working in the child welfare office. And so then I felt tugged by the Lord to go down south into Caddy. And I didn't know why, but I just had this restlessness and I was like, I need to go. I need to go do this. And so my first week of being at Bandon, now I'm really outnumbered. It's like, what would you say, Alan? Like 400 to...
Well, in the caddy yard, sure.
Yeah.
400 to 12.
Yeah.
Men to women.
Yeah.
And so I meet him right away, thankfully.
And you work at Bandit or you're
Yes.
working there as a worker.
I was the first assistant at Pacific Dunes, and back in that time, we worked out of a trailer, basically.
Yeah.
And they had these big windows. And I was in there with one of our caddy supervisors. What a great guy. And I see this beautiful blonde girl walk across the window, and I'm like, who's that?
Who that?
And he says, well, go talk to her. I'm like, no, go bring her in here. And so he did. And I probably totally butchered that whole interaction.
I think you like made fun of me.
And she went out to caddy, and this guy, Mike, said, hey, why don't you come play golf with us later? You're better on the golf course. And so,
yeah.
That's funny.
So it went from there. Started playing golf together, and
wow,
here we are.
And here you are.
20 years later.
You must have done something right. What was that you saw in Alan that you liked?
You know what?
Yeah, this is the truth.
I'm going to tell you. I met his parents right away, and his dad's a pastor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can see he comes from a great family who loves the Lord.
Yeah.
And right then, and that's when I saw it.
Cinch the deal. It's like, I see he could become a real man.
Yes.
He may not be a real man. No, I'm just
I wasn't there yet.
Yeah. So
that's so cool. Okay. Question. Did you grow up in church?
I did.
So
I did. Probably around middle school is when we became involved in church. My mom and my sister and I.
When do you think you accepted the Lord?
I would say probably in middle school, but my faith really became strong after our daughter was born. I was baptized. His dad baptized me in the McKenzie River at age 29, and that's when Maddie was 9 months old. So I would say that's when my faith really grew. I would say I've always loved the Lord, but not until I was older.
And that makes sense. I mean, I think a lot of us were on that journey that, you're kind of on your parents' coattails early on. And you kind of, I was a prodigal, if you will. I didn't go to church until I was probably in high school. And I wasn't living for the Lord.
Yeah.
He had a lot of work to do, and he still has a lot of work to do. But it is interesting how you start out on your parents' coattails and life events happen. And oftentimes it is, in your late 20s when you may have believed, but then you make it your own. Something happens in your life. So what was it about having Maddie that made it, okay, this is real?
Yeah. So, it was a normal pregnancy. It was great. And then the birth, everything like that was good. And then she had not passed her meconium. And so we were still at the hospital in Vancouver where she was born. And on the third day, she spit up bile.
Yeah.
And so the nurse came in the room and she saw that. And instantly, I could tell from her face that something was wrong. And so...
They wouldn't tell us, but...
Yeah, well, they didn't.
It's all good.
Yeah.
They didn't want to say, probably. They didn't know. So anyway, we were taken to OHSU and in the NICU, and then that whole process started. And it, going from a high of having a baby and then down to that low of not knowing what's going on. There's something wrong. We're in the NICU. They're talking about surgery. She had surgery at like 5 days old.
Yeah, something like that.
And then the talk of, this could be cystic fibrosis. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did.
Alan did, yeah. And so anyway, just having to be completely reliant on the Lord, in that position.
It's hard, but it's a good place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at the time I didn't realize that, but
The time was like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
But now looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, right?
It is.
It's easy to look back, yeah, well, this and that, and but now at the time.
Yeah. And I think just from, that time of Maddie being born and being in the NICU for a month and having just to completely rely on the Lord. And that was just from the get-go. That's just what we've had to do with our kids.
I think you nailed it, where people make that transition is when you have nowhere else to look but up, right? He's your only answer. All right. So let's transition a little bit here. I want to hear from Alan.
Yeah.
I didn't know your dad was a pastor. So tell me about growing up and mom and dad and how they impact you and stuff like that.
Oh, they've kind of, as they should have, they molded me every step of the way. My dad wasn't a pastor like my whole childhood. He was always involved in church. He was, with worship, and he would do Royal Rangers back when I was a kid and the youth group. And then as we got older, he got his pastor's license and eventually had a church that he was pastor of. But for the longest time, he was just in ministry in the church that we attended. The things that they were really good in instilling in me, my dad was a very blue collar, worked in the sawmills. My mom was stay at home. It was always about, work hard, be honest, treat people fairly. And those were the things that really were the driving forces. And, we grew up in an Assembly of God church, so we heard we heard a couple messages all the time. We heard tithing and hellfire. And so it was, which are very important, which aren't talked about enough anymore. Yeah. But it was really great you're right, you ride their coattails for a while, and you go to church because you are told to go.
Yeah.
Sunday twice, Wednesday, and whenever other day they want to go.
Right.
But it's those kind of patterns that will help mold you going forward, because there was a point in my life, I didn't walk away from the Lord, but there was a point in my life where I was working, and you don't get to choose when you work.
Yeah.
And so when I was abandoned years down the road, I was like the number 2 guy, and the number 1 didn't want to work on the weekends. So
guess what?
I didn't go to church for years.
Wow.
Now I don't feel like I fell away. I felt like my conviction was there. I felt like, but you lose the fellowship, and you lose like just teaching.
Yeah.
And so, but I would always go home. My parents lived in Lakeside. I lived in North Bend.
Yeah.
I would go home and do laundry.
Yeah.
And I would go home and, have dinner with them. And so you still get it, because my dad was always available, and he says he always still is.
Yeah.
And then just the things that, as you go through life, like you always think I should get this job, or this should be coming my way, or at some point. And he would always just tell me, like, no, that's owed to you. You just go out, you do the best you can, you earn it. And if you don't get it, you move on. And there were moments before I met Sarah. I always love, and Sarah and I have talked about this, like the things that could have happened in our lives that would have made us not meet each other, which she's the biggest blessing in my life. And the kids are a close second, but like she's it for me.
Dude, that's good right there.
He's a good husband.
That's the mic drop right there that guys got to get. Your wife is your number 1 ministry. Your kids are definitely a close second, but let's don't miss that.
Yeah, I mean,
your parents taught you that.
And my dad would tell me that. I would love the I guess the lessons that hurt your feelings when you're a kid.
Yeah.
If you were drowning and your mom was drowning, I'd save your mom. And it's like, oh, thanks.
Thank
wow.
God.
I hope I can
brutally
swim.
honest.
Hey,
but I mean, I think that's, I mean, she has my heart. My kids also do in a different way, but I know that they're going to leave me at some point, and which is soul crushing in itself. But it's,
right.
Sarah's what I got. And so,
dude, I just want to just pause, man. I think you guys are like the third. We've done almost 200 of these episodes for 4 years. You're like the third couple. I like having couples on here because I think it's really important. I want to hear the wife's perspective, but really for you, Alan, you said she has your heart.
Yeah.
Of course, it's God, but she's the one that God gave you.
Yes.
And that she actually has your heart. I don't think guys are willing to always give up their heart to their spouse. They got to still want to keep it to themselves. But I think I'm going to steal that word from you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Feel free. trademark.
You know, give my wife my heart.
Yeah.
And I think I do. In fact, I know I do, but I've never actually said those words. And I think
Yeah.
she would like to hear that.
She would.
How do you feel when he says that?
Oh, I love it. I know that
guys, you listen here, man. This is good.
I know that I am completely loved by Alan,
Yeah.
and that's comforting.
Yes.
And it's makes me feel secure. But I also want to say that my parents divorced when I was 10.
Yeah.
And that was really hard.
Yeah.
And my mom made it a huge point to teach my sister and I about finding our future spouse. And we talked about it a lot when we were growing
so
up.
Sweet.
It is. And I remember being 12 years old and starting from that time and praying about my future husband.
I think it's amazing.
It is. And people need to do that. And we tell
Yes.
our kids that now.
Yeah.
And I know that was why the Lord led me to Bandon.
Yeah.
And so I've been praying about him since I was 12.
Well,
That's pretty amazing.
again, things that will happen, and we've talked about this. There was a point in Bandon where I was frustrated because, again, I thought I wasn't getting a spot that I should have got.
Yeah, you were owed something, but your dad told you.
Yeah, he
you're
told me
not owed
that.
anything.
That's right.
Like all kids, I don't really listen. And so there was a moment where I was going to leave and I was going to go be a golf pro on a cruise ship because as a younger person, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
And the person who was ahead of me who never gave me any inkling that I would ever get anything there, I told him, said, okay, I'm leaving. I quit, or I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I was going to bring you in the golf shop. I was going to get you started. And I was like, no, you weren't. And he goes, well, just think about it over the weekend. So I prayed about it. And then, you know, I'll be honest, folding shirts isn't always the most fun. Like hanging out on a boat in the Caribbean might be more fun.
It might be, yeah, a little bit.
But it just was a pull to stay. And without that, I wouldn't have met Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah. What a blessing. You can see the handprints of God throughout your whole life, even though you don't see him at the moment.
Yeah.
And then, like, my parents had also told me, hey, pray for the wife that's going to come your way. And I would. And then, but I'm a little older than Sarah. I'm 4.5 years older. And as you get older a little bit, like I was only in my late 20s, but like you start to be more selective in like who's out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think you have to get out of the way. Like I got to the point where I was like, okay, well, if it happens, it happens. I'm not looking anymore.
Yeah.
It was at that moment, you know, she strolls across the windows.
Yeah.
And so I think
That's funny.
In life
That's
in
hilarious.
general.
Wait, there she is right there.
Yeah. I think in life in general, sometimes we will, you know,
Strive.
or like sometimes I think even in like prayer, I'm going to pray it hard. Sometimes you just have to sit there and listen. Sit there and wait for it.
What's the verse? Psalm 46:10. I quoted it a fair amount, but be still and know that I'm Lord.
Yeah.
Or stop striving, to your point. I'm a striver. You know, we're strivers. We're Americans. Just go.
Yeah.
But and coaching 2 daughters too. We've been praying for their future husbands. One's married, one's looking, right? You know, it'll happen in God's perfect timing.
Yeah.
And you can't force it. And that's the thing about, I think, the fruit of the Spirit, you know, love, joy, peace, patience, you know, all that whole thing. For me, it's patience, like just waiting, right? Wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. Just waiting.
Because we all have an expectation of like,
expectations.
God's not a magic genie, but we have this sort of expectation. If I prayed for this and I believe in this, and it should just, it should come out. Like it should happen.
Well, I prayed.
You know,
it's got to happen.
Like for our kids, there's things we prayed that, you know, you think, boy, I need this to happen. And maybe it's not now, maybe it's later. But for us now, we think, well, we really need this. And so it's about, I mean, we have to remind ourselves that it's not in our timing.
Well, question for you. Are we humans having a spiritual experience, or are we spirits having a human experience? You know, God created us in his image.
Yeah.
He's spirit. He did obviously come in the flesh, but he's a spirit being. So it's just an interesting question. God is at work at all times, and we don't see it. But he's providing, he has provisions, and he's orchestrated all. And we think somehow we have to pray. He already knows what you're going to pray for before you even prayed it. Yeah, I've got you. Be patient, you know. It's just funny. When did you come to know the Lord?
I was so I grew up in church, and I feel like I've always had that, but I accepted the Lord when I was in middle school. We had a mini, I don't want to call it a revival. We had it was like a function at our church, and it was like a puppet show, and there was all these things. And, you always, growing up, they give altar calls, and you just sit there. You might feel it, but you just sit there. Because, maybe you don't want people to know that you weren't saved. And it was just that moment where you get the feeling and you go. And I want to say I was in 7th grade. I want to say that it was 7th or 8th, but I want to say it was 7th grade. And I think that in your life, there's recommitments to the Lord all the time. I think as you grow and you keep moving in your journey, I think that, I recommit to the Lord all the time. Because not that I feel like I fall away.
That's right.
I just feel like I want more.
Yeah. Well, today is the day of salvation. Today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today, because that's all we got.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy this morning over breakfast. As we get older, people are starting to die. Like my dad's family, I'm like, okay, there's 3 that have died in the last 3 weeks. He had a friend of his brother-in-law died like at 53, just died. We're not guaranteed tomorrow, so today is a new day to recommit to the Lord.
Yeah.
It's not that we fell away, but today is a new day for me to serve the Lord. So sounds like you guys are kind of all in on the Lord. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah, really, that's all we got.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
The Lord blesses us and blesses everyone in ways, but ultimately that's what we have to look forward to.
Yeah. The world is lost. It's dark, and as you go share the gospel with people, some people just don't want to hear it. It's hard because it's so much better if you know the Lord. Life is already hard. You guys are going through a challenge. Heck, we're going through challenges. We're no different. Yeah. The Lord's got you, but imagine trying to do it without the Lord. How would that be?
Hopeless.
I can't imagine.
Hopeless.
Yeah.
It's hopeless.
I think I would feel like I was constantly striving to get something, or for our kids, find a cure, and it would never be enough.
You would just be a dog chasing your tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have been married, you said 17 years?
Yeah.
When did you guys decide to have, because you were late 20s, you're mid 20s?
Yeah, we got married right before I turned 30.
Okay, so 29.
Yeah.
We had Maddie 3.5 years after we got married.
Okay.
So we had a little bit of
waiting
time.
to have kids? Did you want to get to know each other? Just whatever. Yeah, whatever.
We just kind of go by the seat of our pants.
It's funny because when we were dating, maybe Sarah wasn't fully forthright with me because we kind of talked about not having kids.
Yeah.
And I kind of just...
I was 24.
Because I'm pretty simple. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And then she wanted kids before I knew I wanted them. And so, I'll never forget when she told me she was pregnant. She seemed like concerned to tell me. And it was like phenomenal news. Like it was great news.
Well, let's also remember, I didn't realize I was pregnant for some time.
I'm not feeling well.
Like 10 weeks.
No way.
Yeah.
Were you sick though? Like just not feeling well? Or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just
didn't know. Just didn't know you didn't know.
Really unaware.
My cooking wasn't that good back then, so it could have been anything.
Gotten better.
Yeah.
How do you guys date now? Now you have kids and stuff. We'll talk about that. But how do you date Sarah? What's the magic for? What is she like? What's
time?
Yeah.
So when you think of the 5 love languages, have you gone through this? Is that what?
Yeah, we did recently.
So time.
And listening. I need to be present.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And I think, but the dating part, like we need to, we have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old. And so we also need time to just go do our own thing occasionally.
Totally.
Yeah. And I don't know if we don't really actively talk about that.
Talk about
dating.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't, that's not something we've really talked about. I guess we need to.
Here's what's interesting. So when I was growing up and my sister was older than me, so she kind of went off and did her thing. And then when I was 17, I'm like, I'm gone. I went to, I had this wrestling scholarship I was going to be able to get at SWAC. And so I was gone. Well, it's interesting. My parents apparently had been waiting for me to come back home because they thought, well, he'll surely come back home. I'd come home for the summers and I'd leave and go back to school. But it wasn't until years later I realized they told me that we were like lost for 5 years after you left. And I'm like, that can never happen to me, and my wife. Like, so as the girls were little, girls, we knew we were raising adults, not children. And so I tell a story a lot, but it's funny. When they were 10 and 8, I'm like, okay, Emily, you're 60% of the way to 18. Okay, Dad, what does that mean? Well, at 18, you're 100% responsible. Well, holy crap, so today you got a little bit more responsibility. And so at 18, but my wife and I knew that we would have to, go on some trips alone.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, by the way. It's not easy. And we love to travel with our kids, and we traveled a lot with them, but date night, doing those things are really important. I didn't want to be my mom and dad, and I love them. They were great. They did the best they could do, but I think maybe a lot of parents put too much into their kids and not each other. But guess what? Your kids will leave one day, and all you have is, well, you too. So
I guess we haven't used those words, but we do that. Like we don't go on like traditional dates, I would say.
Occasionally,
but
not very often.
We go on walks a lot together.
But here's the deal.
That's a date.
You're doing what you want to do. Of course, you come and pick up the girl and take her to a movie. Maybe that's not your thing. Go on a walk. That's a date.
We play golf together without them. We'll do stuff without them.
Hey, you guys, everybody has to find their own way. What's important. So my wife, we do date stuff. Movies, vacations, walks, coffees. Like tomorrow morning, honey, you want me to take you for breakfast? Yeah. So we'll get up early, like 7 a.m. We'll go out for breakfast somewhere before the crowd gets there.
Smart.
It's just what we love doing. Yeah. So those are dates. And so good for you guys. You're doing it. I think more people, like literally, they've been married for like 10 years and they've got, 4 kids. And when's the last time you went on a date? I don't think we've ever gone on a date. Okay. Let's have a little come to Jesus meeting here. This is not going to work. I'm just going to tell you. It's time. You must separate, from your kids.
Yeah.
And so that's good. Good for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, kids are the product of us.
Right.
But all I want to do at the end of the day is go home to Sarah.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had more. I literally wish I mentor a lot of guys. I get mentored too. Just, I need it. And my wife knows that, but I mentor a lot of guys because God called me to the ministry. I got saved when I was 28. Remember, I grew up in church. I didn't know one Bible verse. I'm 28, and 2 of my buddies go, "Hey, you want to join a Bible study?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." I mean, I wasn't a non-believer. I just didn't know the truth. So I got a Bible, got saved, and where was I going? I was just had
mentoring men.
Yeah.
Oh. So I'm in this new profession. I worked at Les Schwab during college, after college, and so I'm a tire guy, right? Brandville, home of Les Schwab. And then I don't want to do this forever, so I got into the mortgage industry, which you don't go get a degree for that. You just nobody knows about the mortgage industry. You have to fall into it, and so I just happened to fall into it. And so after a couple of years, I found out a guy was, wasn't being faithful to his wife. And so I was really frustrated. But, anybody can do something dumb. Just saying. Nobody's above the law. Long story short, my phone rings and it's the guy. And so the next morning we meet for coffee or breakfast. And so that began my journey of mentoring men 28 years ago, 30 years ago almost. And, but I love mentoring men, getting coached to how do we love our wives, as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to give ourselves up, to be selfless. We're selfish people. So every day we have to kill the flesh, show up, right? Recommit. Okay, yeah. Alan, you're still committed? Yep. Right? Is she still smiling? If she's not smiling, then I have to question that. But you're smiling. So I think, Alan, you're showing up.
He is.
Well, and I mean,
he's a good husband.
There was when in my younger days, like I played a lot of golf. And I didn't realize, like, there were times where I didn't realize that Sarah didn't like that. Like I was like going in with people, like members, and going and playing. You
could justify that too, man.
He's making money.
He's part of the job.
Money. Come on.
And then we talked, and she's like, I've never really liked that. And I
don't think I was shy about it either.
I didn't. Well, okay.
We're pretty deaf. We didn't hear you.
Maybe I didn't want to hear it. I don't know.
Can you scream louder?
He didn't want to hear it.
But then when I did hear it, then I'm like, okay, fine. I won't play anymore. Like, or I'll play a lot less.
Yeah.
because I would much rather, and I had a moment too, like a surreal moment with just more the kids than Sarah.
Yeah.
They were away doing something, and our kids had always shared a bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay. And my son, I want this other room. And so I'm tearing these beds apart.
Yeah.
And I'm having like a midlife, like a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Like I only got this much time left with this one and only this much with this one.
Clicked.
And all of a sudden I'm like, I don't want to be gone anymore. And
So he was gone every Monday.
And so now it's, coaching like Max's baseball and it's, being there for Maddie and everything she needs, while still getting home at an hour that like is good so I can spend enough time with everybody. And for someone who's competed for a long time, I thought I would miss it, and I don't miss it at all because this is better.
This is better. Okay, there's a couple movies. First of all, 7 Days in Utopia. Have you ever seen
movie.
It might be my favorite movie.
Good movie.
The second movie is called The Forge. I'm sorry. Yeah, The Forge. You ever seen it?
No.
You ever seen the movies Facing the Giants?
No, I've heard of it.
There's a whole series of movies made by these two Christian brothers. Facing the Giants, Courageous, but the most recent one is called The Forge. It's kind of like the verse, iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another man. It's about this young kid. He's living with his mom. She's a single parent. He's just playing video games. She introduces him to a mentor, a guy who owned a gym or something like that. And so he goes to work for him, and the whole movie is about that. But in the story, the guy, the mentor, was a golf lover. He golfed every day. Golf was his thing. And one day, the conviction came where he gave up golf. And so as I watched this movie last summer, I mean, it actually brought tears to my eyes because I realized, am I really showing up for men? Am I really, 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 really committed? And I think that I am. Am I really? Like, that was really God going, okay, buddy. So, as you know, Alan, you've been my golf coach for a little while. And I need more lessons, by the way. Maybe Sarah will teach me too. I don't know.
Sure.
But
she's good.
In September of last year, my wife challenged me just to, because I do a lot of, I golf, I do a podcast, I work, I'm pretty busy. And sometimes my energy is a little bit lacking. So she goes, what if for 1 month you take off, you don't do any coffees, you don't do golf, just work and just, you have to obey my schedule. Okay, honey, I'll do that. So it was funny. And so this movie, though, talks about this guy's addiction to golf. His love was golf. And I love golf. I know you guys love golf. We love golf. It's fun. But I haven't golfed since September.
Wow.
And it's not because I don't want to. I really, 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 really do. And I love golf. I love the fellowship. I love just the afternoon. I've seen you out there a million times. I just love that. But God has also challenged me in an area to be more committed, to him and to my wife and my family and relationships that go beyond golf. And so this movie, I want you to challenge you to watch the movie, The Forge.
Okay.
You two on the camera, it'll challenge you. If you don't have tears in your eyes, we've missed, but it's a very good movie. So anyway, I love golf though. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, golf's great. We just find different times. I play in the morning now before I go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll join them.
That's so good.
Yeah.
We play early, and then there's
Got the
no
whole
need
day.
for me to feel like I have to go out late.
Yeah.
And not that I really did that very much. I would play on days off.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the kids were little.
I mean, you're a golf pro, but you still love the game of golf. I mean, just to go out there and play and...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the kind of player that will play for fun.
Yeah.
Like it's always for a reason to get better.
Yeah.
But
what's your handicap?
Oh, I'm like a +3 point something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Right now I'm, what would you say? Probably like a 5.
Probably 5, 6 somewhere.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I mean, it's not as good as it used to be, but
What was your best handicap ever?
0.
Scratch. Yeah. Yours.
My best is a little better than +4.
Okay.
It's really hard to get better past that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like really hard.
Yeah, the gains in golf, from 25 to 18 can happen very fast.
Yeah.
18 to 14 can happen pretty quick.
Yeah.
You get to 10 and under, it's much harder.
Yeah. I love this. Hey, I want to dive into kids, life, golf. So walk us through a little bit of the journey of Max and Maddie.
Yeah.
And just, some of their challenges and kind of what this podcast is really all about.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about a golf event that's coming up. So, Sarah, you're up.
So, both of the kids have cystic fibrosis. It's a genetic disease. And sometimes when you have, we call it CF, you can develop liver disease. People tend to think of CF as being a lung disease, but it's a whole body disease. And our kids have really good lungs, thankfully, but they have more gut problems. And so the liver goes along with that. And thankfully, Max has been pretty untouched by this disease. And we are so thankful for modern medicine. And that's really, really helped him. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, we don't know, Maddie has developed liver disease. And that started around age 8, I believe. It was when
Somewhere
she was,
there.
yeah. And so it's just developed over time, and we've been watching it for a while, and they monitor it closely. And then I would say last summer is when our team up at Dornbecker said, we need to start a conversation with Stanford Children's about doing a liver transplant. And going down that road, it doesn't mean that she would necessarily need one right away or even be put on the list waiting for a transplant. So we said, okay, we'll talk to them. And then in the fall, they said, okay, we want you to come down. So we did. So we went down for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And Maddie went through a whole battery of tests, lots of tests.
And she's 14.
She's 14. Yeah.
She's a young lady.
She is. And so we were taken by surprise, but they were like, yeah, we want to get her a MELD score is what it's called. And that determines your placement on the transplant list. And so we thought, oh my goodness, we thought we were just having a conversation with your team about this. But they're like, no, we know that she is going to need this and it's going to improve her life. It'll be a good thing. And we were just crushed. We just thought, what? But, it will be a good thing.
Yeah.
It will help her life, and it'll make things better for her, but it'll take a while to get there. So, so then everything kind of quickly happened after that, of like, okay, this is, you're going to need to raise some money, and she's going to have to always take like our anti-rejection medication. And this is, having CF is a lifelong disease, but then also adding on the transplant is another layer.
Yeah. How does that affect her day to day?
I would say Maddie is very tough. She has been hospitalized
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times in her life. And she's known about this for a while.
Yeah.
And so she's really good at compartmentalizing, but I do see that it's weighing on her.
Weighing on her.
Yeah.
Poor girl. Yeah, breaks my heart, man. All right, so when you guys want to raise some money, so talk about that from a golf standpoint. What are you guys trying to do to raise money? What does that look like?
Yeah, so when we were down at Stanford, they introduced us to a group called CODA.
Yeah.
CODA is the Children's Organ Transplant Association. And basically you can fundraise through that. And so the easiest conduit for me, being a golf pro, is run a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And at McNary Golf Club, the membership is so supportive of Maddie and her needs. We're having a golf tournament on June 6th called the Mad Dog. And it is a fundraiser that everything goes to CODA. And again, it's like a lifetime piggy bank for medical only expenses. And so, yeah, we're almost full. We were hoping for 20 teams originally, like 100 players, and we're up to 120. And now we're like maybe getting ready to cut it off because of, cart need and stuff like that. But we've been very blessed to have people step up and want to do it. There's also a silent auction that will go along with it. We have a lot of great golf courses, a lot of partners who've stepped up for Maddie. Lunch, games on the golf course. It's going to be a great day of golf for one. At McDerry Golf Club, best golf course in the valley, and to raise funds for Maddie. And the hardest thing for Maddie is she's similar to me in the sense where she's pretty introverted and doesn't like a ton of attention on her. And so this is almost like a great life lesson for her that, people are just showing kindness, and that's okay. I get it. I mean, for her, it would be, I can't imagine mentally what she is internalizing.
Yeah.
But to have the community step up the way they have is pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So it's called the Mad Dog.
The Mad Dog.
How Max also has a similar challenge, but different. How has Maddie's faith grown, and how is Max responding too? Because you're all being affected. Heck, there's a ripple effect of we're being affected. We want to be praying for you guys and for Maddie. But yeah, walk us through how Maddie's faith has grown and then how Max is doing.
I'll talk about Max. Max is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he is more vocal. He likes attention.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit more vocal about his faith.
Would he be a little bit more extroverted?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit like mom?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting this.
More so than me, because he's
Mom.
not shy.
He's not shy.
No. Oh, no. He would love to be here doing this.
We should have him on. I'm not joking. I love having kids on here.
Yeah.
He might not know what you're talking about, but he would.
No, we'll have a blast. I love kids.
He is very concerned about his sister.
Yeah.
And they have a bond over having this shared disease. And, you don't think, I'm thankful both of my kids have this. But in a way, it's kind of true, because they can understand something that we can't understand, and they have each other to lean on.
Yeah.
But, I think it's going to be, Maddie and I will be gone in Stanford for 3 months.
Oh, wow. And when is that?
We don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Still waiting for the letter.
You just get the call.
You get the call.
And then you go.
Okay.
Could happen right now. And so.
You're ready to go. Okay.
Yeah. So, it'll be really hard. That'll be the hardest part, I think. But I know that both of our kids know that, we just trust the Lord, and whatever happens, heaven is our ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And they have to live that too. So I think they see that. We've hopefully been a good example of that. And Maddie's a little quieter about her faith, but
Maddie's quieter. A conversation I had with Max, before we get to Maddie.
Yeah.
When we got back from Stanford, we have a simulator in our garage.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Weird.
And he hits baseballs in there too. Like he has a tee that he hits in there.
Yeah.
And he'd ask me, "Hey, Dad, can we go hit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And so watching him, and now he's just expressing his concerns for his sister.
Man, it's an opportunity for him to talk.
Is she? Yeah, we didn't hit many balls in there, but is she okay? Is she gonna die? Is this gonna happen to me? All these things. And none of those answers I can answer, but you just let them know, hey, the surgery has a 98 point something % success rate.
Yeah.
So we will take that. We'll take those odds. And I'd like to tell him, like, Max, this is like the best thing you can do for her and for yourself is pray. And I said, the reason why is because you're a kid. You haven't had a lifetime of people saying what the probability is, or this or this. You just get to pray and believe. And that's the best thing you can do. And I said, your mom and I are trying to do that too. But kids tend to have, if we could all be like kids, right? Just the pure faith.
Pure faith.
And so, he was very receptive to that. And I just tell him, the best thing you can do for her on a sibling level is just be a good brother. Obviously, he annoys her often because they're teenager to preteen, but
totally. He's a boy, man.
He's also her biggest cheerleader. And Maddie to him too.
Yeah.
As far as Maddie goes, we have our times. We go out on walks or for ice cream, and it's a great time to talk.
Just you and her alone?
Just me and her.
Yeah.
Okay, dad and daughter, yep.
Yeah, and so those are times where she's more open than she would be maybe in the family setting.
Yeah.
And I've told her numerous times because, she is very internal. She's like me. And so, Maddie, are you scared? Yeah, a little bit. Are you mad?
Yeah.
Because it'd be okay if you are.
Yeah.
And I said, in all those things, just give it to God. Pray about it. And I tell her, one of my favorite books in the Bible is Job.
Come on, yeah.
Obviously, the New Testament's great. That's where our salvation lies. But,
Yeah.
So that's important for us, of course. But nobody had it worse than Job.
Come on, yeah.
And no, I said, that doesn't mean that you're going to somehow get tenfold back of what you perceive you're losing.
Yeah.
But in all things, Job was like the picture of success, and he had his estate wiped out, and family and servants and livestock and his health.
Yeah.
Everything went away. And the only thing he had left was just to be thankful.
Yeah.
Even in the moments where he had the boils and he's like, well, just kill me already. But he found ways when other people were saying, well, just God hates you. Just give up on him. And he wouldn't do it. And I'm like, Maddie, that's what we need.
Curse God and die. I think his wife said that.
Yeah. And I'm like, Maddie, this is the time where we need to be thankful for everything and the liver transplant is a blessing in a sense, because the trickle down effect of health, the liver is going to affect the spleen, and it's going to affect blood pressure and blood vessels. And when that gets fixed, all the other elements get better. And for her, she won't have a CF liver anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a reset.
Once the liver gets replaced, it's good.
Yeah. And the liver is the only organ in the body that won't run out. Like if you had a kidney, it would run out over time.
It has a shelf life.
It has a shelf life.
The kidney doesn't, the liver doesn't. It regenerates over time. And so, or doesn't die out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in a sense, this is fortunate. This is a part that they can fix, and you're better off for it. And I understand we've all had timeouts in life. Sarah blew out her knee once. I had a fairly significant back injury. And you get life timeouts, and they're no fun.
Yeah.
No.
And so she's going to have a timeout. And I think that's probably the hardest part for her, being away from her friends, being away from her dogs, being away from Max and I, even though we will go see her, and just the daily cadence of life.
Yeah.
But then you try to tell her in the scope of your life, let's say you live 75 years, 3 months is nothing. And I try to tell her that, like when she was born and she was in the NICU, and that was really hard for us. But I hardly remember it.
Yeah.
Distant past.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough in it, and it was really hard. But, I will say this too, and I don't know how this sits, but the NICU was a blessing to me.
Yeah.
Because it let me feel grateful that all she had was CF.
Yeah.
You're in the NICU and you see some bad stuff.
There's a perspective, right?
My heart breaks for other families in there.
Yeah.
And Dornbecker OHSU is just a phenomenal facility, and they do wonderful work. But I found myself almost feeling lucky that all we got was CF.
That's interesting.
And so...
Yeah, I would say that, you were talking about Job and praising the Lord throughout his trials. And we continually talk about all the blessings that have come from the kids having CF. We have gotten to experience and do so many cool things that most people don't get to do.
Right.
Our kids were the spokeskids for Children's Miracle Network for Dornbecker. And I guess they're alumni now. But we got to go and travel around the state and go to
and we went to Ohio for a fundraiser.
And do all these neat things and do Make-A-Wish.
Wow.
And so many cool things that I never got to do. Or
Which is, those are nice things. They're great. And those are big blessings for them.
But then just the perspective that comes
But I've also told Maddie, like, there's things that have happened that the biggest thing you can ever do is win somebody for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
My step-grandfather was anti-faith, religion, whatever. And when Maddie was born, he was probably 90.
No kidding.
And he was so bothered that she had CF. And it led him to talk to my dad. And it led him to accept the Lord before he died.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell her that is such a, I mean, that's such a good, it's such a good thing that happened.
Yeah.
And maybe that doesn't happen if he doesn't feel upset that it was unfair or whatever he felt. I didn't get to talk to him about it. But, you know, ultimately he's in heaven now, which is...
That's kind of worth it, right?
Well, you know, if we're believers, you know, Christ purchased us with his blood. We're actually not our own. Yeah. I'm not my own. And so he's going to use me however he wishes to save people. And what a blessing and an honor it is. If God needs to use me, and is it crazy to think about? He's free to do that. Yeah. So I hear you loud and clear. So it's really neat that you guys pour into your kids. I mean, we can quote scripture all day long, but with compassion, the verse in 1 Thessalonians, it says, rejoice always. How much? Always. Pray continually, and then give thanks in all things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In all things. Mm-hmm. And if we can do those three things, we let go of control, we give it to God. Yeah. That's real faith. That's real trust, because whatever was meant for evil, God means for good. All things work for his glory for those who love him and called according to his purpose. What a great place to be. You guys let go. It's God's show.
We were forced to.
Yeah, like you were holding on, dear Lord.
I was.
Oh, I know. How'd that work?
It was horrible.
Yeah.
The first 6 months of Maddie's life, I was in a prison of fear. And I just had to let go. Eventually, it was... I felt horrible, physically horrible.
What was the aha, though, letting go? Because perfect love casts out all fear. Our default is fear. Satan loves fear and confusion. So what changed that? What opened your eyes?
I think prayer and the influence of our parents telling me that, and seeing that all of trying to control and
how's that working?
It didn't work. And it was not any fun. And I just thought, I got to let go. And then things got better instantly.
I'll say for me, we had a moment when Maddie was in the NICU in the nursing room. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
I love to call it the milking room, but...
the milking room?
Yeah. But we were both, it was a down time, right? And we prayed together and we prayed for Maddie. And I had just this feeling of calm, whatever you want to say, but it's like that warm, heavy feeling of calm. And I thought, she'll be okay. Obviously there's going to be bumps along the road, and we will all have them in life. I felt at that moment that she was taken care of.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that I haven't been concerned for her, for sure. And it doesn't mean that there haven't been hopeless times where, everything seems like it's going well, and then you get some news you don't want. That's kind of a gut punch.
Yeah.
But it also then lets you circle back to being pretty thankful that it could have been worse. Like, I did have CF experience as a kid.
Okay.
I had a friend, I grew up on the coast, and it's, it's dank and wet and moldy probably in most houses. And back in the early 80s, CF therapy was almost non-existent. And
most people died before 18.
That young lady was sick all the time. She was my older brother's age. She was 2 years older than me. And she died at 18. And so when they gave us that news, the only experience I had was that person. And that's horrible news to get, right? And but then to see like that our experience isn't that. And, just obviously, and we're thankful for medication, but the Lord is the one that allows every advancement to happen.
Yeah.
Like we can think, oh, hey, thanks Pfizer or whatever. Thanks Trikafta.
Vertex,
whatever.
Yeah.
None of that happens. I mean, without it being ordained.
Yeah.
And so we're very grateful that those have happened in our kids' lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a time probably where it's even way better. Like they're talking about other medications and therapies that are going to make it like.
Yeah, it's going to not be a big issue. I mean, we see that now.
Oh, yeah, our son has probably really benefited because he's 2 years younger. He got a head start on some of these medications that Maddie didn't get on.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, the verse that, as we get older, we start thinking about, hey, nobody gets out alive. We all must die.
Yes.
Die to self, die to go to heaven. But what did Paul say in the New Testament? To live is Christ and to die is gain. And yeah, I know it maybe sounds morbid, like, but we're all going to die one day. And
it's going to happen.
And God he's the one that numbered our days. It wasn't us. In fact, I don't want to know when I'm going to die. Like, I'd rather not know that.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
I agree.
This is really heavy. I really appreciate you guys sharing this story.
The funny thing though is like it is a heavy topic and it is a lot that they go through, but like this is all we know.
Yeah.
Right? Like some people will go, "Oh, what's it like?" And they do therapy twice a day.
Yeah.
But they're normal. I mean, they're normal kids.
Yeah.
We don't restrict them from anything.
Nope. Nope. And
when they were younger, sure, someone had a cold or there was like we were like sheltering, like we skipped some holidays and we did some things. We're like, oh no, we're not. We let them live.
Yeah.
Let them live.
And I feel like we have such a blessed life. I'm so thankful for what we have, and I think our kids are too. And I think it's been great.
Yeah. And let's be honest, we do have a blessed life. I mean, we know where our eternity is. It's in heaven. This is just a passing. We're passing through, right? This is a temporal place. Yeah. And I was at a funeral this last weekend. An uncle of mine passed away, and I think he's 75. But we're not getting out alive.
Yeah.
And sometimes we seem so shocked. Like, how could somebody die, at 25 or 75 or whatever? It just is what it is. And so I want to say I've come to that conclusion. I'm good with it. A few years ago, I actually had a heart attack and I was in the hospital. I was doing 75 hard. And long story short, after about 3 days of like what felt like indigestion, I go to the ER and I go, honey, you just stay home. I'm going to go figure out this indigestion. Long story short, indigestion, they check it, they put you on a, what do you call it? The EKG. And so they checked it out, went out and waited. They go, come back in, we need to try it again. So I go back in there and they go, yeah, you're having a heart attack. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, well, I know where I'm going. I'm like, Lord, this is my question. Lord, is this it? And remember, my wife didn't come with me. So I had to call my wife and tell her. And she didn't pick up because she was with my other daughter. And I go, honey, hey, I'm having some stuff. And long story short, come on down. But I was good with it. But what I realized is after being in the hospital for a couple of days, my wife would come in. We're fine. We're good. But during COVID, you could only have one person come in. And so my girls couldn't. Well, one night, my daughter Emily snuck in late at night, like at 10 o'clock. And when she sees me for the first time, she began to just melt. I'm like, oh, this is not about me, right? So I better start living a better life. And it's not that I wasn't trying, but I mean, I could be healthier, So I don't know. I'm good with it, but I also recognize that it will be emotional. And
100% for everyone else, for sure.
Yeah.
So... Well, you guys, this has been a real blessing.
Thank you.
I'm thankful that you came. I wasn't sure just me and Alan, but I'm really thankful that you came.
Thanks for letting me join.
This will be one of the greatest podcasts we've done. It's emotional. I love talking. One of my favorite topics is marriage. As you know, 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's just what it is. So my question to you guys, you've been married for 17 years. Give us one last thing. I think you may have said it earlier, but what's the secret to a 17-year marriage? Sarah, you go first.
Okay. I think it is spending time with each other, listening, and putting the other person's needs before your own.
Isn't that hard to do, though? We're selfish people, Sarah.
We are selfish
Come
people.
on.
Yeah, that was a very like textbook answer, wasn't it?
I mean, it's true, but I mean, yeah.
I just, maybe it's prayer.
Oh.
Maybe it's praying about it. Maybe that's what it is.
I like that you went second level. Like, yes, I mean, you're wrong, but really, all that doesn't matter until you pray.
Yeah.
So you're going with praying?
Yeah.
You're going to stick with that one?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Final answer, prayer. I got to write that one down. All right, Alan.
Well, I pray often that I'm a better husband and father all the time. But I actually had the chance to perform a wedding a couple of years ago, and there was a line that I gave at the end. I'm going to paraphrase it because it's not in front of me. But I do believe it to be true. Like, if you can see the person that you have and you see them, like, she is the same 24-year-old that I saw across the windows, and you can realize that you wake up with gratitude that you're with her. Mm-hmm. It makes everything, like going to work or whatever hoop you're going to jump to, it makes it so easy because I'm coming back to you. Like, I have such an appreciation for the fact that Sarah's my wife. That's the, on earth, that's the greatest accomplishment I could have ever gotten. And I'm lucky. I mean, we say blessed a lot, but I'm lucky and blessed that happened. It's easy to take certain things for granted.
Yeah.
I don't take Sarah for granted. That's like the one thing that I'm like very cognizant of. Like, this is my whole world right here.
Yeah.
And so
that's really sweet. I mean, honestly, I've talked to a lot of guys and I never hear this. This is like top level, but it's genuine. It's real.
He should be part of your mentoring.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, helping guys understand what you just unpacked and I'm a guy too. I've done it wrong. I'm a guy, and I look at how my mom and dad lived. My mom served my dad. My dad, worked. It's fine. That's a different generation. Mm-hmm. But I think there's marriage, you come in with expectation, like, what will you do for me, right? Versus, as you understand scriptures, how am I going to serve you better? You get this. I mean, I know you're still a guy. You may not do it perfectly every day, but you're very aware of what you need to do, and you're doing it.
I've told her numerous times, the sun rises with her and falls with her.
He could have had a really good career working for Hallmark, I think. Like being a writer for their movies and cards.
Yeah.
He is a really good writer.
Yeah.
But his dad is the same way.
But my dad also, dad gushes over my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, he was also kind of they're in their 70s, or he's 70 and she's 69, 71, 60, or whatever it is. So she grew up in that world of serving him too.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's ever done a dish in his life. And but like and that's probably some of the stuff that was instilled to me growing up. Mm-hmm. How glowingly he always speaks of my mom.
Yeah. And
I mean, I think he would be lost without her.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I know that they also, I think though, like he worked his whole life and then he doesn't. And I think he needs walks and they need space.
Yeah.
Whenever the day that, if I ever retire, the day I retire, I look forward to the fact that I just get to spend time with her.
Yeah. I think my wife's wired like you. I mean, her number one is quality time. I mean, she never, I'm like, why do you want to hang out, man? I'm like this knucklehead dude, I don't know.
She likes you. Accept it.
She still likes me, and I really like her. I mean, we of course we love each other, but I would ask a question really to men or even women. Mm-hmm. Do you really actually like each other? Because I see a lot of couples, they might be married, but I don't think they actually like each other. Like, that's disturbing to me. Like,
yeah, that
why?
is.
Where did that come from? Why?
I don't know. No, we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
And I think we would have been really good friends as kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we enjoy hanging out with each other. I mean, we both really like golf and we like to do a lot of the same thing. Yes, all sports.
The Lord, kids.
Yes, all of it.
Yeah. Well, you guys, we got to pack up.
Okay.
So hey, we really appreciate you being here this week. We really, we love podcasts like this here. I think this will be one that will go down in the record books for one of the best ones we've ever done. We love our kids. We love our spouses. But from a biblical perspective, to pray more, to be intentional, to listen more, it all comes back to what Sarah said was prayer. Don't make it textbook, but make it about prayer, the time with the Lord, and then time with your spouse. Get your priorities right and live out the priorities. I know I've had to work on my priorities over the years, and I feel like I'm doing a better job. I'm sure there's always room to improve, but anyway, we're here. And I'm thankful for you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I think after the golf event and after maybe 6 months or so, I think it'd be fun to come back. Maybe we can get Max and Maddie on here as a family.
Yeah.
Just really praise the Lord, talk about her journey, her faith, Max's faith. I love kids. I mean, kids are more fun than the adults, actually. But you guys are pretty cool.
Thank you.
They're more fun than we are.
No, I love the purity of kids. I always talk about my kids. We were talking outside before we started the podcast. Is you don't want to make Maddie play golf, so you have to use reverse psychology. So as grown up, if my parents told me not to do something, you'd be sure I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And so even my wife today, if she says, "Don't eat that cookie," or "Don't," I'm like, I'm going to do it now just because you said not to. But with my daughters, I loved reverse psychology, and so when they were even little, I talk about this all the time because it's so funny. When they were little, we raised our kids in church. So they're 6 or 7 years old. And I'd say, "Hey, Emily or Molly, you guys want to skip church today?" They're like, "No." "All right. You going to skip school today?" "No." Hey, it's totally up to you. I mean, of course, we're going. We're going to lead by example. But I found myself not telling my kids what to do, but really asking the question, inviting them into the idea of this is how Mom and I live. I grew up and I had to go to church rebelliously, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the way you do it, and that's how I came to the Lord anyway. I was hearing something. I know my grandma was praying a lot, and the prayer of a righteous man or woman avails much. We know that, but I don't know. Raising kids, having your kids on here would be a blast. So let's talk about that if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
So let's pray right now on camera for Maddie and Max and you guys. Lord, we just come before you right now, and we just lift you up on high, Lord. You're the great God. You know all things. You're sovereign. We love you, and we trust you with everything. Lord, we pray for this journey with Maddie and Max and Sarah and Alan, Lord. Just, all the details. You know the beginning to the end. And we're going to trust you in that. So, Father, we love you. Help our faith grow. Help us to share you more. And, Lord, we love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.